That don't really sound very enthusiastic. Good morning, gentlemen. Okay. It's my pleasure to address you this morning very briefly. It was just almost about 9 years ago that I was in your very same position. And so I am further helped shape and mold me into the person that I am today and the person that I will be in the future. PSS really set the foundation for me. My experience here at PSS were really and truly some of my greatest days. It was here that my leadership potential was groomed. It's here that my public speaking potential was groomed. So PSS for me gave me more than just the academics that got me into school. Before I delve into the core of what I want to share with you, I just want to tell you very briefly of my journey, right? So I came to PSS from 2009 to 2014, and I went on to the Dominica State College, where I did biology, chemistry, and physics as majors. And at that time, I felt, well, the next step is university, right? I applied for university, and I did not get into university. And so I was very much depressed, sad, dejected, because I had a plan, and the plan did not work out. But God had bigger plans. And in that year, before I started school, I was able to explore what the world had to offer. I moved to Jamaica and worked there as a music missionary. And there, I gained a lot of skills and competencies to help me on my journey through university. And then in 2017, I started the University of the West Indies, really because while I was at PSS, the University of the West Indies sent a representative here to speak to us about their programs. And I was inspired from my days at PSS, and I went on to medical school and just completed it a few months ago. But I want to talk to you very briefly this morning about this. We have a problem, a very, very serious problem. And the problem is this: slightly more boys are born in the world every day, right? Not much. About 107 boys are born to 100 females, girls. Yet still, in the education system, for every one male, there's about 2 to 3 females. And I was speaking with Mr. Austri just last week, Friday, and he said that at PSS it's a little worse. For every one male, there's about 4 females. But yet, if we look at the statistics on crime and violence, up to 80% of persons arrested, charged, and convicted are males. Do you think that's a problem? You don't sound very convinced. Are you convinced that it's a problem? Do you think it's a problem if 70 to 80% of all of you standing here this morning end up being charged for some crime? Isn't that a problem? Boys, is that a problem? So how do we fix that? This morning I want to share with you 4 tips, 4 things I want you to ponder upon, so that you don't end up in that 70 to 80%, that you'll end up in that 20 to 30%, and we can increase that 20 to 30% of males who are productive members of society. And we can flip the statistic around. The first thing, gentlemen, is that you have to believe in yourself. You have to what? Say it a little louder. You have to
believe in yourself.
In yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, no one is going to believe in you. You have to have confidence that you can do every and anything that you set your mind to do. Best believe, when I was at PSS, nobody could tell me that I would not become a prime minister. Nobody could tell me I would not become a lawyer, or a doctor, or a mad scientist, or a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. No one could convince me otherwise, because I knew that God blessed me with skills and competences that I can use to go in any and every direction that I wanted to go. And so I pursued it. And I don't think I'm halfway there yet. I'm on my way. But it started right here at PSS. So it therefore means that if I could do it, if others could do it, then what? You can do it too. You believe me? You believe me, young man? I see. The second thing is that you need to surround yourself with like-minded people. Surround yourself with persons that will elevate you, people who will encourage you, people who will help you to stay on the straight and narrow. But more importantly, as young men, more than just surrounding yourself with positive people, you need to surround yourself with positive young men. As boys, you need each other. Boys need each other. No one understands what a boy goes through than his colleague male. It therefore means that it is important for you to have male friends who can help you along the journey. When I was in PSS, I had a core group of friends. My two closest male friends were Andel Hamilton and Kadeem Douglas. And to this day, they are still my best friends. We don't speak every day, we don't see each other every day. We are all out of Dominica, but whenever we meet, we just pick up where we left off. One is in the army, one is on his way to becoming an engineer, and I just completed medical school. And right here at the Portsmouth Secondary School, we would sit and we'd talk about what we want to achieve in life. We would support each other. When I had my debates, they came to support me. When they had their business things, I went to support them because I was a science student. And to this day, they continue to encourage me and help me to be a better person. Every single time I speak with them, they enlighten me and they encourage me and help. In fact, to prepare for this morning, I reached out to one of them for some inspiration. So the friends that you make here can be lifelong friends. So if someone is going to be a friend of you forever, then it makes sense to have a good friend, don't it? It makes sense to have a friend who is they themselves rather on a journey to success. Because there's a saying that says, show me your friends and they tell me who you are. Everybody following so far? The next thing is that you need to dream big. Dream big. Show of hands. If you're a science student or you want to be a science student, raise your hand. If you're a science student or you want to be a science student, raise your hand. If you're a business student or you want to be a business student, raise your hand. If you're neither a science student or a business student, you're a technical student, raise your hand. Or you want to be a technical student. Wonderful. I want to challenge you this morning to not think of yourself as a science student or a business student or a technical student. I want to challenge you young men to think of yourself as a student of the vast array of knowledge that's out there to grasp. As a student at your age, right here at PSS, I understood that even though I wanted to be something in science, even if I love the sciences, I never thought of myself as a science student. And so because of that, I dabbled in some technical stuff, and I dabbled in some business stuff. Because at the end of the day, and it's a very unconventional idea, but somehow the system kind of, in my opinion, shortchanges us. Not the system's fault, we have very limited resources. But if you can do woodwork, like a carpenter, there's nothing stopping you from being a carpenter who is a doctor. If you can do welding, there's nothing stopping you from being a welder who's also a teacher. If you can sew, if you can crochet, there's nothing stopping you from being a crocheting engineer. You know what my dream job is? My dream job is a musical, business, crocheting, sewing, woodworking doctor. That's what I want to be in life. Yeah. Because my mom always told me as a child growing up that it's really your skills that will make the most money for you growing up in the future. And I'm sure many of the teachers here, teaching is not their only source of income. Because they use this, because trust me, they look at petty change they're making, you know? So they have to augment the income. And truth be told, me, I'm still a young doctor, so I'm at the bottom of the threshold. But when I was in medical school, and I went through serious hardship, it was these skills that I honed here at PSS that helped me. It was at PSS I learned how to start a business. So the first moment I faced financial difficulty, I said, okay, I'm going to start a business. And to this day, now I'm done with medical school. One of the businesses that I started in school, I'm committed to growing that and building that to, so that my children and my children's children can benefit, So you have to think of yourself as more than just what you are and more than what people tell you that you can be. Ask yourself, what am I skilled in? What am I competent in? What are my interests? And go for it. And the next thing that is very important is that you need to listen. Listen to those who have been in your shoes, those who have experienced it, those who have achieved whatever you want to achieve. And you'd recognize that there's nothing greater, or rather, no greater teacher than experience. And so, Miss Hyacinth might have something in her brain from 20 years ago. She might have struggled with something and she overcame it. But you would never know if you never go and ask Miss Hyacinth, well, Miss Hyacinth, how did you get here today? You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to be a little nosy. You have to ask. The Bible says what? Seek and you shall find. And the final thing I want to share with you this morning, gentlemen, is in all that you do, everywhere that you go, you have to represent. You have to represent your school. You have to represent your country. But above all, you have to represent yourself. Because I can tell you this much. You can be the best person that you could possibly be. And you make one slip up. And that's what you're going to be remembered for the rest of your life. That one moment, every day, that person harassing you on your way home. And that one day you decide to fight back. That's what you're going to be remembered for. So you have to ask yourself, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, what do I want to be remembered for? What do I want to be known for? What would I want my children to hear that I was occupying myself with at this level? Because people remember the bad much more than they remember the good. And so, a line from our school song, coming from diverse districts, ours is the same conflict. What's next? Fighting for the best. And so what I leave with you this morning is to fight for the best. Be the best. Groom yourself to be the best. And if you are the best, if each and every one of us within the reach of my voice become the best, then the North will be the best. Dominica will be the best. And the world will see and know that in this tiny neck of the woods, there is potential for persons to go out and change the world. So thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Alstreet, and I really hope that something will stick with you this time.
Thank you very much, Dr. Brewster. At this point, we want to call on our head boy to express a few words of...
Okay. I just wanted to say thank you for the words of inspiration that you gave us. And I really hope the students, as much as I did, take in the words of inspiration that you gave us.